Hey y'all, it's Chris and welcome back to Creative Loops. This is my channel where I explore all things yarn, crochet, and sometimes knit. And sometimes, not today, my 9-year-old son Dante will join me in videos and provide his thoughts and commentary as we go through whatever it is that we're looking at for that day. Today, he is still upstairs sleeping. So, he will help me edit as my creative director, but won't make any appearances in this video. Today we are going to open boxes 5, 6, 7, and 8 of our 2024 and 2025 Woobles Advent Calendar, as well as we're going to open 4 more packs of our Fangirl Fibers Mystery Mini Skein Advent Calendars. So we're going to just jump right into all of that. I didn't have time to make much of anything other than some of these woobles that you're going to see us open. So we're going to open up the 2024 boxes first. Let's skip to that. you'll see from that box that we got these fun things. Now, right away, I'm just going to tell you, these tiny skis, I did not make these because I don't really see the point in making them. I'm sorry. They're cute and they're adorable, and if someone really loves skiing, this would be an amazing accessory pack from Woobles for you. But I was looking at how to make these, and it's more embroidery, more use of the embroidery needle than it is of the crochet hook, which to me is not fun. I don't mind using the embroidery needle and sewing in little details and designs, but I want to crochet more than anything else. And so if there's a project that is supposed to be for crochet, but you're using the embroidery needle more, then that, to me, it takes the fun out of it, because I'm not really into embroidery or sewing stuff together. That's just a necessary part of crocheting to me. And so if you have a project that does more of that than the crocheting, it's not really fun for me. So I didn't do this one, but I did make these three little woobles. I'm gonna start with the little chestnut. Here's the little chestnut, which, again, these accessories, while they're cute and they're fun, because they're so small, they're more difficult for me to make, because you're staying in a very small little area for the majority of the project. And with holding the yarn, holding the hook, holding the project, with it staying so small, it gets really challenging for me. And so I don't really care for really small, and I get that this isn't even as small as some amigurumi can get. There are some folks that do like that micro crochet, but this is with a 4-weight yarn. This is really small to me, and I don't really care to make things that are this small. This was fun to make, it was cute, but I would not make this again. Similarly, we have this tiny cardinal, which is supposed to be a pairing for the bigger cardinal that we made last week, and this was fun to make as well. It was on the smaller side because you had to make these wings, you had to make these feathers separately and sew these on, and so those were a little challenging for me to make because my hands just start to hurt after a while. But I will say that this, to me, was more worth it than this, because with this you actually get a small little creature that you can put on display. It pairs with one of the full-size Woobles. We made a full-size cardinal last week, and so it makes sense that this would be an accessory for that. So this, to me, while it wasn't the most fun Wooble for me to make, it made sense with the entire pack, with the entire kit, because it goes with one of the Woobles, and if you see them separately, you can still see like, oh, that's a smaller version of the bigger version that I just made last week. So to me, this makes sense, and I like the final product of it, if that makes sense. And the final one that I made is the full-sized fawn, the full-size Wooble fawn. And this one as well, this was fun to make. I loved making this Wooble. Now, you might not be able to tell, but I messed up. I was making this pretty fast. I think I made this within like 2 hours, maybe less. You can, most Woobles, if you're confident and you understand the concepts of how to make the Wooble that you have, you can easily make that Wooble within 1 to 3 hours, depending on the details and if you have to sew in some stuff. So they're really quick makes they're really quick things to make. Now, I was rushing through, and I forgot to put the eyes in. So the eyes don't have the backings to them, and so I just kind of stuffed them on. I know I can go back and super glue them, not super glue. I can go back and take my hot glue gun and I can glue them on. This isn't going to go to a kid or anything because I could also just take these out and I can embroider the eyes in. I think this is fine. And so here is the finished Wooble. And that's the fawn. So this was fun to make. I enjoy making these full size woobles. This is what Wooble calls a full size wooble. They did come out with more gigantic woobles and a thicker, bulkier yarn, but this is traditionally what you would get when you consider a full size wooble. And these are fun to make. They're generally egg shape. Every now and then another one would have like some shaping to it that you'll do, but they're really, really simple. I really like that even though they're small and simple, they add a lot of detail to make the animal or character stand out and come to life, if you will. So I do really enjoy making woobles. Now for the 2025 Wooble Advent Calendar, I didn't actually get around to making any of those Woobles. We're going to start with the accessories because, again, the accessories are what I find the most annoying overall, because half the time I don't feel like they really relate to the character or the kit that they come with. It just feels like kind of a filler project, if you will, where they give you some really small clippings of yarn and they're like, hey, you can use this to make this. For example, this tiny car. What is this? What is this supposed to go to? It's a Woobles Advent Calendar, and so far from this calendar, we've made, what have we made? Yeah, I would say, I feel like this year's Advent Calendar just feels really, it doesn't feel as cohesive as last year's calendar felt. So last year's calendar, so far we've already had these 3 full-size Woobles. So we have the full-size cardinal, we have the squirrel, and we have the snowman. And then we had the fawn. So I feel like these are going to be the 4 full-size Woobles that are part of that kit. For the accessories so far in that kit, we have the tiny cardinal and we have the chestnut, which to me, like, the squirrel can have his little chestnut, the cardinal can have the mini baby little cardinal here, and so these make sense to pair up. They make sense together, and I'm assuming there's going to be maybe at least 1 or 2 more accessories that are a part of the kit for next week that will maybe go with the snowman or something else. And so those kits, I don't know if maybe the tiny skis went with the snowman, but 2024, the accessories made a little bit more sense. This year, 2025, so far we have the llama, we have the beaver, and then we had this yo-yo and tiny candy. The yo-yo, the candy, I don't understand what they go to. I mean, I get how the piece of candy is more holiday themed, but the yo-yo, like, to me, it just seems really random. This week's, we had this tiny car. You have to actually, if I saw this by itself and it wasn't necessarily facing head on, or even if it was facing this way, if I saw this by itself and I didn't know already that it was a tiny toy car, I don't know if I would have guessed that this is a tiny toy car. It's so small that you lose enough detail that can be very important for the overall piece. So there's the tiny car, there's this tiny spinning top, which I can see how this could be Christmassy. It feels like they're maybe trying to go for the, like, more traditional small Christmas toys that you would find in stockings, which I guess would make sense with the yo-yo, spinning top, toy car, and tiny blocks. I guess as I'm talking through that makes sense as a theme, and it doesn't scream holiday theme right away, and it all on their own separately they seem very, very random. So, and then there's these tiny blocks. Needless to say, I did not make any of these accessories. I don't know if I will. I might go back and make the accessories later on, but for right now, I'm not making these. I will make this. I have not made it yet. This is the caribou that came in this week's kit, and I'm excited to make this. I have not gotten around to it yet. It's still sitting right here with the already pre-made magic loop. You'll probably see this in next week's video. This is all of the Woobles for this week. My fire went out. If you remember when I was showing you the boxes in the week before last week's video, I opened up this box and this card fell out. And I told you that I would tell you more about this card. So it just says, join Team Woobles for a fun Wooble along in December 2025. There's a QR code on the back. I'm not going to show you the QR code because I still don't know if maybe it might unlock something that I'm just not paying attention to. But the QR code in the back goes to the Woobles Facebook page. And if you go to their Facebook page, there is a Wooble along with this kit. So if you bought this kit, then you can join a group on Facebook that will allow you to kind of work along with everyone else as they open up their advent boxes and start making the Woobles that come in the kit. It could be a great opportunity for beginners if you are looking for a group to make the Woobles with and you're not sure how to make them, or if you run into some issues with some of the techniques that are a part of making one of the Woobles in the kit. You can join that group and kind of ask some questions, troubleshoot with other crocheters that are making the kits as well. So it's a great opportunity to kind of just join other crocheters and make the Woobles together. Now, the last part of this video, I am going to open up 4 more of the mystery mini skein bags from my Fangirl Fibers Advent bag. As a reminder, this is what we opened last week. So this was day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4 of the Fangirl Fibers Advent mini skein kit. So here is day 5, or December 17th. We're going to open this together. Ooh. Yes, this is beautiful blues, greens. It's very similar to, maybe this is the same. Looks like, yeah, it looks like it might be the same as the one that we opened last week. This has a little more white and light blue to it than this one does. So, looks like it might be fading just a bit. Maybe. So this is day 5. Here is day 6, which is dated December 18th. Ooh, I like this. Yeah, here is a darker purple. This is a very, very beautiful purple. And so if we're looking at what we've already opened, so we have all of these so far. So now this is where we are with the new ones from today. Next we have December 19th. Okay. This is definitely more of a, I don't know if it comes off on the camera, but it's more of like a minty color. It's kind of a very, very light green color to it. Here we are with that one added. So that is the 7th day. The last one that we're going to open today is the 8th day, or December 20th. Ooh, and we have another purple. We have another purple. This purple is beautiful. It's more bold, more kind of almost more jewel toned than some of the other ones. Let's add this to the rest of our mini skeins and then look at all of them together. Here we are. It is looking like a very, very purple, very blue, very cool tone kind of palette right here. We have the lighter, this one is just kind of plain with some speckles on it. This one is more of a mint color. We have these two that look very similar, but I don't think they're the same. Yeah, I don't think these are the same. I think this one This one right here is a lot darker than this one. It has some of the same colors in it, but I think this one definitely runs, this one runs a lot lighter than this one does. So we'll see. Let me know in the comments below, now that we have more of these packs open, what you would suggest I use these mini skeins to make. So let me know what your thoughts are. What would you make with this if you had these? And next week we'll see what the final 4 bags are. We already know what one of them is, because we opened December 22nd, my birthday, previously, and that was a more pink, it was a pink color, so a much more, a brighter color than what we've been opening so far. But let's see what those other ones look like too. That is everything that I have for you today. Join me next week as we open up the final boxes from all of our kits, the 2024 Woobles Advent, the 2025 Woobles Advent, and our Fangirl Fibers Mystery Mini Skein Advent. And let's see what we get. So I'll see y'all next week. I hope y'all have a very amazing day. Keep those creative loops going, and bye y'all.